Hey folks, Tommy the Butcher here for Wise Guys Barbecue. We got another exciting video for you. You know, Memorial Day is right around the corner. What better time to start thinking about what we're gonna do for the Memorial Day weekend. We did a Rhode Island Wise Guys Barbecue grilled cheese hot dog. Now I know that sounds pretty crazy, but I mean, we all love hot dogs, we all love grilled cheeses. Why not put them together and make one? We made two dipping sauces. We made a mustard dipping sauce, and we made our own easy, simple tomato soup, because you know, we all know tomato soup goes with grilled cheese. So there you go. I hope you're gonna like it. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you will not miss an episode. I hope you give this a try. When I'm thinking of a dipping sauce for hot dog, mustard. It's gotta be mustard. So we're gonna build a quick mustard dipping sauce right now. I'm gonna, rather than a honey type of mustard, I'm using just a regular old French's yellow mustard. We're gonna sweeten it with a little bit of maple syrup and a little bit of molasses. And the reason why I'm choosing those sweeteners, those are generally what's in baked beans that go along with the hot dog. So rather than honey, I'm gonna put a little of that bean flavor in with the hot dog dipping sauce. So I'm not gonna really measure this out carefully. We'll go in with maybe 3 tablespoons of the yellow mustard. That looks good. And on the molasses, I'm gonna go about 1 tablespoon. That looks good. And then with the maple syrup, we're gonna go in with another tablespoon of maple syrup. Now, as far as the seasoning, I don't know about you, but I always put celery seed on my hot dog, so I figured, why not put celery seed or celery salt in as a season? So we got all that. We got hot dogs and beans all going on in one little dipping sauce here. We're just gonna stir that up. Very simple. Very simple, very easy. Oop. That's a finished product. I'm gonna give it a little quick taste. See if our flavors are balanced. It's a little sweet forward, so I'm gonna balance that off with a little bit more mustard. You can go either way you want with this. If you want the sweet to be more prominent, then lean towards the sweet. But I want the sweet, but I want it to complement the mustard, not to be dominant. So that's it. There's our mustard dipping sauce for our grilled cheese hot dogs. We're gonna put that aside. Now comes the grilled cheese part of our grilled cheese hot dog. When I think of grilled cheese, first thing I think of is tomato soup. Who doesn't like a grilled cheese sandwich dipped in tomato soup? I mean, come on, that's about as American as it gets. So this is all about American with a hot dog, mustard, grilled cheese. There's a lot going on in this sandwich. So I'm gonna put together a very simple, easy 3-ingredient tomato soup that will work very well as a dipping sauce. And I kind of thought about a ketchup, homemade ketchup option to this, but quite frankly, I'm not a ketchup on my hot dog guy. I don't know if you are. Let us know in the comment box. I got our pot heated up. We're gonna go in with 4 tablespoons of butter. And then I'm gonna add, I got a 1.5 large onion here. We're gonna toss them in. All right, leave your onions rough chopped, because we're gonna blend this all up together as it cooks. So there's no need to worry about that. Okay, onions are going. Then we're gonna go in with a 28-ounce can of whole tomatoes. I like to use the whole ones. And what we're gonna do is just break those up a little bit. So we got our onions in there, we got our whole tomatoes. And then we're gonna add in 1.5 cups of vegetable stock. All right, we're gonna give that a stir. Season with salt and pepper. We're gonna let this simmer for about 40 minutes without the lid on. You wanna leave the lid off because all these flavors are gonna concentrate and we're gonna lose some of that liquid in there, and it'll give us like a thicker type of finishing sauce. So that's it. We're gonna revisit this in about 40 minutes. We're gonna get it all blended up and we'll finish it off. All right, our tomato soup has been simmering for about 40 minutes now. It's cooked down very nicely. So next thing to do is we gotta get it blended off. So you can either use a regular blender, typical blender, but if you have a handheld immersion blender, this works even better, much quicker. And just want to come in here on low speed and get all this all nice and blended, pureed up. At this point, you want to check for seasoning. A little more salt, a little more pepper. And this is almost a bisque right now. With those onions, They actually gave it a lot of thickness. All right, a little more pepper, a little more salt, and we'll continue blending it down. All right, this looks done. Now, I'm not gonna strain this off. If you'd like, you can strain it off just to eliminate if there's any like chunkiness in there. I don't care if there's gonna be some chunky onions in there, I can deal with that. But if you want a finer, smoother product, by all means, just strain it off and you'll be good to go. So this is done. We're gonna let it cool off somewhat. And like I said, this will be tomato soup dipping sauce for our grilled cheese hot dogs. All right, as far as our hot dogs are concerned, all I wanna do is just give them a little bit of a score on top. You don't have to be fancy about this. They will kind of open up when we grill them. It just gives a little bit more of a fancy presentation. Roll those over and we'll do the back side. Just enough to pierce the skin, so to speak. All right, we'll get those onto our plate. These are ready for the grill. We'll put these aside with our burgers. Next, we gotta get our cheese all grated for our grilled cheese hot dogs. What I'm using, I got about a 3-ounce chunks of good old American cheese. It's very creamy, it's very soft, has a great melting point. It'll melt down very well. And I have some Colby Jack. And Colby Jack is a mixture of Colby cheese and a Monterey Jack. It's very mild, it's very nutty. You could use cheddar if you'd like, but because we had a lot going on with this, I'd rather have the cheese somewhat in the background, nothing too strong, nothing too overpowering. And this Colby Jack is very, very semi-soft. It will melt down. You do want a cheese that has a great melting point to it, so it'll give us the texture we're looking at. So I'm basically just gonna grate this off. And I'm probably gonna go maybe 3/4 pound of each. We've got 8 dogs going on over there, so you're better off having more than you need. So when you're out there and you're ready to go with this cheese, you're not struggling to get more prepped. So I'm gonna do about half of this chunk.
Better to have the cheese room temperature or cold?
Actually, good question. If you're grating it, it's actually better to be a little more room temperature. That'll facilitate the grating a little bit better. But once it gets too much room temperature, too warm, it'll get a little soft and you might have difficulty grating it. But this is working pretty well and it has been out at room temperature for a while. So, hey, I don't think there's that much of a difference. It's not imperative. But I do find buying the cheese chunk style like this, you're much better off. If you purchase any of the pre-grated, pre-shredded cheeses, a lot of times, especially with the grated cheese, a lot of those have a wax coating, so to speak. Something that's food safe, edible of course, but just to maintain the texture, the shape, the appearance, there is a lot of that added extra funky stuff in there. So when you're doing it like this, you have a much better consistency, a much better melting point, and frankly, it's a lot of work, a lot of extra work, but you're much better off doing this yourself. All right. Our hot dog's ready for the grill. Our burger's ready for the grill. We got our cheese all ready, and that's about it. In about a second, we'll go out to the grill, get all this stuff fired up, and get it going, and we'll see you back in a second. We're back inside. I grilled off all our hot dogs. We get some nice color on them. And the next step is we got to put these things together before we go out to back out to the grill to get these all grilled off. So I have, we're going to do 4 of these for the grill. I have some Martin's potato rolls for these. You cannot purchase any of the cheap $1 variety hot dog buns that are kind of just like all bread on the outside. Those will fall apart. They won't be able to hold all the ingredients we're going to put in here. So we want something fairly sturdy for a base. So I have my American cheese and our Colby Jack all shredded up. So I'm basically gonna go in, I'm gonna line the bottom with both kinds on each bun. That'll be a base, and you can just put this in there however you like. There's no rhyme or reason to it. So now at this point, before we add our hot dogs, this is when you can add any condiment that you like. You can go in with pickles, you can go in with pickled jalapenos, any type of relish. I happen to have a hot pepper relish that I purchased in store. So I'm gonna do half with and half without. I'm just gonna spoon a little bit of that in. Like I said, any relish, anything you like, you can add at this point in time. That's it. The other two are gonna be plain. Now we'll just take one hot dog, place it on each bun. That's it. So there you go. The next step is we got to put a mound of cheese on top of this. So we're going to go back in and we'll do the same thing that we did in the bottom layer. And don't be afraid to mound this up. And what's happening with this This is another thing I want to say, because we grated our own cheese and we didn't buy a package or a product that's already grated. I can already feel how this is like sticking together, it's holding together, and that's going to work very well for you, because I already can see when we take these hot dogs to bring them out to the grill to grill them off, we're going to have to go really quickly and flip them upside down and get this, what you see the face side up, that's going to go face down on the grill. So with this cheese all kind of binding together a little bit, that's going to help the transition of getting it upright to upside down without everything just flying out of the bun on you. All right, we got them all built out. Come on outside, we'll be out there. We're going to plop these on the grill. See you outside. All right, folks, we're back outside here, and here comes a moment of truth. We got our grill pans and our Yoda smoker. We got some, it's about 600 degrees. We want to spray this off with a little bit of Pam. And these got to go quick because they're going to go fast. Now, here's where we take our hot dog. We're going to flip it upside down and go really quick. All right, we flipped them over. We're only gonna let that go for a second. It doesn't have to go very long. We'll get these off the grill, plate them up. All right, didn't execute that as well as I would like to, but that's tricky. When you do that flip and that grilling in here, it can be a little bit tricky, but these are gonna be delicious, I just know it. All right, folks, we have grilled cheese hot dogs complete. We have dipping sauces complete. We're going to give this a try. I have 1/2 without the pepper relish, and I have 1/2 with the pepper relish. So, with the pepper relish, I think I'm going to go in with a tomato dip, tomato soup. Oh my God, folks, that's this is like far exceeded my expectations, and well, it's absolutely delicious. Shoot, I gotta go back in for a second. Oh yeah, the cheese and the hot dog, nothing's overpowering the other. They actually go together pretty well, and I can taste the pepper relish in the background, actually giving a lot of flavor to it, and actually elevating everything in the dog. So, all right, I'm gonna go with this other half. There is no relish in it whatsoever, and I'm gonna go with a maple syrup and molasses sweetened mustard. I didn't want to go with the honey mustard. The molasses and maple syrup are classic ingredients in baked beans. So that's where our relation is. That's how we join this together. The hot dog with the mustard with the seasonings of baked beans. There you go. Oh, wow. Damn. Folks, I'm telling you. This sounds crazy, it's a little out there, but please give it a shot. It's not that difficult. I know you can do it, but I know everyone's gonna love this too. So, and when you have guests over, don't even tell them what you're doing. Just surprise the shit out of them. They're gonna love this, I'm telling you. This just made my day. Holy smoke, that is good. I got off track there because I'm enjoying this so much. So please, I hope you like what you saw, and I definitely want you to give this a shot. Do it Memorial Day. Guests are gonna love it. So, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you will not miss an episode. Thank you for watching. This is Tommy the Butcher for Wise Guys BBQ. Happy Memorial Day.